Welcome to HU16. I'm Max Ross. In the studio today we have Dean Neal. Yesterday we had a mass email sent out to the students at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon talking about several different dormitories being converted into different spaces. By the way, thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate it. Would you do me a favor and just talk about what we're going to be seeing in the coming year changing with these dorms?
Sure. So Village Apartments was privileged housing, or is currently privileged housing for men's housing. And that is moving to Cone. Cone was built in 2000, and when it was built as privileged housing. And then through the years, it became more of one of the traditional residence halls that had an apartment style, and then we moved into Village. Well, now we have an opportunity to move back into Cone. It increases, we have about 105 students that live in privileged housing in Village right now, and now we'll have the capacity for 196. So it does actually increase the number of beds available for men in privileged housing. On the women's side of campus, we have an opportunity to use Kendall Hall, kind of reimagine, repurpose it. First floor used for study hall type settings. It's more of a high school term, I guess, but hangouts, places to study, more common areas. And then the second and third floor utilized. There's some academic departments within the Gaines building. That's my current understanding that will likely utilize that space.
Very cool. Now, with the current students living in the dormitories, especially Kendall Hall, what does that look like for them moving into the following year?
So right now is the time frame that we would already be making preparation for the fall. And so as soon as we possibly could, we got the word out to let students know that as you make your plans for living for the fall of 20, that Kindle Hall will not be an option, so that you don't really have to change anything that's set in stone. Okay. You might have to change some plans, and I do feel bad for those that there is a little bit of disappointment in that. I'm hopeful that will change to excitement whenever we all get to see what it's going to look like in the future.
What is the reason for choosing Kendall Hall specifically to be that community center area on campus?
It is a location that is really close to the front lawn. It's really close to the central part of campus, easily accessible by the sidewalks coming from the Heritage, coming from the administration building. And so I think that access will be the main point of that location.
Absolutely. And what are you seeing as hoping to be the main influence as you see as the changes come for the student body? How are you seeing this to impact them in any way at all?
I think the most immediate impact is the student that lives in Kindle Hall right now that had to plan to live there in the fall. And that really is unfortunate, and I've talked to some of the individuals about that. So direct impact, immediate impact would be to that student. Big picture, it's going to offer an opportunity for all students to have more opportunity for common space, and I think that that's going to be well received.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us in the studio today. I'm hoping that as we move into this current year that we have this wonderful new influx of community, especially in the Kindle building. That's all I have over today for our community focus. I'm going to send it over to Jackson with sports.